let's keep it on NWSL. We have a little bit of player signing news to talk about. Maria Sanchez is announced with Houston Dash, has re-signed with the Dash on Thursday, January 6th. The deal is for a 2-year deal. She is a Mexican international who has already played in NWSL, was previously drafted by Chicago Red Stars in 2019. Her rights were traded to Houston Dash in 2021, where she spent a little bit of time with the club on a small summer loan from Tigres Femenil. And in the 2022 expansion draft, Houston showed their hand a little bit and said, hey, this is a player whose rights we want to protect in our 9-player protection slots. So now that led to a lot of, the rumor mill running because this player was still spending time in Liga MX Femenil with Tigres Femenil, a very, very successful club, one of the top, if not the most successful club in Liga MX Femenil. And now they made it official. They made the announcement official. The player has returned to NWSL and will be spending the next 2 years with Houston Dash. And it's exciting. I love to see it. This was a player who I got the opportunity to cover at the local level with her time in Chicago. Was a tough year to be part of that 2019 squad, I think, as a rookie. And you're talking about an era which still included a Sam Kerr, a Yuki Nagasato, who was putting up 8 goals and 8 assists. Very, very massive and epic club in terms of the talent across the board, but still was able to feature and make 9 appearances for the squad during that 2019 season. And then in this very short summertime loan with the Dash, scored a goal in just 3 appearances with this Houston Dash side. So there was enough there for Houston Dash to sort of say, hey, this is a player that we want to continue to grow with and develop with our roster moving forward. And if you haven't seen the player announcement on socials, go ahead and take a look at it. It's a lovely video. Let's eat Houston Dash. I love it. Let's go.
Yeah, this is really big for Houston. And when you look at a player like Maria Sanchez, you just touched on her time in Chicago and how she didn't make the biggest impact there. And even with Houston this summer, she made an impact. You mentioned she scored a goal and they're very happy to have her back. But I think having full time with the team, being able to go in preseason, and especially a team like Houston Dash that lost Christy Mewis, right? Like they have some attacking weapons up top and some holes in their creativity in the front line that needs to be filled. And Sanchez is a player that can do that. She's really speedy. She's really quick. She hasn't always had the minutes and the time to showcase her top skill in the NWSL. But if you watch her in other leagues, she is a very dangerous threat. She's really quick. She can get down the flank. She can send crosses in. She's versatile in what she can do in the attack. And when you play her alongside Rachel Daly at Houston Dash, like good things are bound to come out of that. And if Sanchez has preseason to understand the way a team plays and everything like that, and she's already been with Houston, so she has that taste. This is good things. These are great things. And I love the way that Houston, they played this out for us. Like they played this out for the fans and the media. It was like, okay, we're going to protect someone in the expansion draft, but you don't really know who it is. We'll tell you later at this point, which is so fun. I mean, the games, the lack of transparency, we'll get to that, but the games is funny. At least they can have fun with it. And they make the announcement this week, Thursday. So, hey, something's happening there, but I like this pick and I'm excited to watch her again and watch her with Houston, see what she can do there.
Yeah, no, same. Again, it was only a 3-week span of time that she had spent in 2021 with the club. But even just sort of hearing the response to this player making her arrival to the team then from other teammates, from head coach James Clarkson, it was evident that it was a mutual interest there, that both the club and the player enjoyed the time that was spent, together, even though it was just over the span of 3 weeks. Rachel Daly saying, like, I hate that I'm only going to be able to play with her a couple times, in a year like this. So we'll see what happens with the Dash and Sanchez as part of this roster moving forward. forward. Maybe let's move into some like personal interest stories, right, that are NWSL related. We have some congratulations in order. Of course, we want to send congratulations from attacking third to Casey Krueger. Chicago Red Stars defender announced her pregnancy at the end of December. She and her husband are expecting their first human baby. They already have a fur baby, right? They have a dog, and they're expecting baby Krueger to arrive in July 2022. People are already sort of trying to do the math and connecting the dots and all of that type of stuff, and sort of remembering that this player sort of missed the final few matches and the championship match down the run. Obviously, the United States women's friendlies in Australia, and then now the announcement, right, of the pregnancy. So congratulations to Casey Krueger and her family. Also, we actually have another announcement. It's baby off season, right? That's what it is. It's baby off season. Kansas City current goalkeeper Adriana Franch and her wife Emily Boscacci Franch, they welcomed their baby girl. So baby girl Kamari Boscacci Franch has arrived. A lovely photo of the family on Adriana Franch in her Instagram page, I believe. If people are into the personal human interest stories, we are as well. So congratulations to these two NWSL icons, right, and the growth of their families.
Yeah, huge congrats to Casey and to AD Franch. I mean, this is huge. We love to see this. We also know Crystal Dunn expecting a baby with her husband. I love this. I mean, huge congrats. We like to do these personal stories and news updates because we are happy for these players, right? I mean, we cover them so closely, and you know Casey very closely from Chicago. So it's exciting to see these players grow their families in ways that they want to, and take some time off to be with themselves and be with their families, and for AD Franch to be with her new little baby girl as the season's done and she doesn't have much else to do right now. So it's fantastic, and huge congrats to these ladies.
For sure. Some news across the pond. Liverpool FC women announced the signing of forward Katie Stengel, also a 2.5-year deal. Someone who last played in NWSL with Houston Dash, was waived in May of 2021. So will be continuing her playing career overseas with Liverpool. And I think to maybe close out this little section of news, we wanted to bring in like a wild rumor, right, that we just saw floating around there. Just emphasis on wild rumor. Who knows? We'll see if it'll take place or not. But apparently, Tigres Femenil is in talks to sign forward. Mia Fishel was recently drafted 5th overall from Orlando Pride. Hey, listen, I would love to see it. I wouldn't hate it at all. The more outrageous the rumor, the more I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. I don't know if we'll actually see this happen. Out of UCLA is Fishel, and she was drafted to Orlando with Amanda Cromwell, the new head coach of Orlando Pride, who formerly coached Fishel at UCLA. So there's a lot of connections there. I'd be surprised if Cromwell would let this happen, kind of let Fishel go, especially when Orlando Pride, they need people to score goals. They need forwards. We've touched on it before, a big building year for Orlando Pride. But as you said it best, Sandra, the bigger and the crazier the rumor, the more into it we are. So we just had to touch on it today.
Why not? It's fun. Let's talk about it. More of this, please, in this space. FA Women's Super League. You know, I think maybe this sort of piggybacks a little bit about what we were talking about in the top of this episode with the state of the world and the pandemic going on. We already teased a little bit in our previous episode how excited we are to be broadcast partners with the FA Women's Super League. They're in the middle of their season right now, match day 11 of 22, about the halfway point. There were supposed to be 6 matches coming up this weekend for all 12 teams, but due to everything going on, all the positive cases and the rise and spike in all of the testing, there are now 3 matches on the schedule. Sunday's West Ham and Manchester United match was postponed due to both a combination of injuries and COVID-19 cases. Yeah, it's just a tough time right now, Lisa, I think for the sports world and in general. We're seeing it impact Women's Super League now.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, we were so pumped just a few days ago. We were like, yes, the Super League's back. We get to watch all these great teams. And just like that, the matches are cut in half and only 6 teams are competing now. And I hate that I'm still surprised because it's happening in every sports league across the world right now. I mean, I'm a big NCAA basketball fan, and it's happening left and right here in the United States. So it's sad and it's crazy, but we're going to get through it. And it's just something that we had to touch on because we were hyping it so much just in our last episode, and they're postponed. So they will be played though, because they need these matches to be played. So it'll happen eventually.
Yeah, for sure. We'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully we get some more updates about it, and eventually the games get played. Maybe we'll have some results to touch on for everyone. But more European women's soccer news. Women's Champions League is going to be making the return with the quarterfinals coming up in March. But probably the biggest storyline heading into the next phase and round of Women's Champions League was the fact that Chelsea got knocked out of the Champions League, not even making yeah, that was the soundtrack of people's reactions right on Twitter as the match was happening in real time. The match against Wolfsburg happening in December, defeating Chelsea 4-0 on December 16th, officially knocking the Blues out of the competition. Chelsea were runners up from the previous Champions League title, that match that just took place not too long ago. Runners up against Barcelona. Again, talking about maybe history, a little bit of repeat. I mean, we're talking about these 4-0 score lines and massive sort of do or die games for Chelsea, and they're not even going to get a chance to try to knock somebody else out in just the quarterfinal stage to make it back to that very big stage of the title match. But Bayern versus Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid versus Barcelona, Arsenal versus Wolfsburg, and Juventus versus Lyon is going to be happening very, very soon for the quarterfinal run in March. I'm excited for all 8 of these teams. I think it's a real open race right now. I think everyone's looking at Barcelona and saying like it's going to be theirs for back-to-back. But I think if we've learned anything from Wolfsburg and Chelsea, I think there's a real chance to maybe get a different champion in this one.
And there is, and these Champions League games are so spread out, which is great for like entertainment wise. But sometimes when the matches come back, match day comes back, I'm almost like, wait, what happened last time? And I love when they do little recaps and we know everything that happened. I will not forget that Chelsea got knocked out, because it's huge, and it really changes how these quarterfinals are going to look come in March. I mean, that was really the biggest news in December, and you're right, Twitter was just blowing up about it. I mean, 4-0, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. We don't see that very often, but hey, the world of women's football is changing and evolving, and it's anyone's game right now. And really that's what it proves. So watch these games when they come back. March 22nd, quarterfinal start for the Champions League.